Hello and welcome to Focus 54, your weekly guide that focuses on all the 54 countries of Africa. And today we cast a spotlight on a very topical issue, especially in the Arab world, and is affecting Africa. Yes, we are talking about the Israel and Palestine conflict, and the conflict between those two nations, and how the nation of Egypt is affected and is working towards a peaceful solution today. And later on, we will be with Her Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Egypt, Miss Salwa Mowafi, who will take us through her nation's plan and a relentless pursuit of a peaceful solution. But before that, let's kick off with news that is topical. So we kick off with some African news where Ramadan has pushed up the demand for lanterns and oriental desserts in Egypt. And Ramadan is the ninth month of the Islamic calendar, and it is observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting, prayer, reflection, and community activities. We touch down to East Africa in Uganda, where there is an energy export concern, and Uganda is planning to construct a $260 million power transmission line to South Sudan in a bid to boost foreign revenue collection and improve their look at local infrastructure. And South Sudan is in a bid to boost their revenue in the process as well. We take a look at Kenya, where if you are a lover of dairy, you would love this news because the implementation of a digitalization and digital tools has transformed the dairy farming for small and medium farmers in Kenya, and the use of digital tools is in their farming has also improved the output and access to educational facilities. And finally, we look at the nation of Nigeria. Nigeria has used car market and the US's proposed tariffs and on auto parts that has sparked concerns for Nigeria's used car market. Now, dealers and clients are lamenting the efforts of tariffs just as prices have climaxed, and all still looking at the nation of Nigeria. Nigeria has also expanded its oil refinery through the Dangote oil refinery to touch down and supply areas such as Africa. They've already started reliably supplying the Asian market, and are also now supplying the Arab market. So stay tuned for more. We will now turn to the Egyptian embassy and find out from Her Excellency what exactly is the nation of Egypt doing between the Israel and Palestine. Hello and welcome to Focus 54. My name is Jeffrey Muribechi. You're taking a bit of a sabbatical, but we're back tackling all the issues that are affecting Africa. And today we're honored to have a special guest, the Egyptian ambassador to Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Ambassador Miss Salwa Mowafi. And she's here to help us understand the role that Egypt is bringing to the end of the conflict in Israel and Palestine. And Ambassador, welcome to the program, and thank you for hosting us in this lovely venue.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and welcome to the Egyptian Embassy in Harare.
Thank you so much. And firstly, Ambassador, I'm sure we agree that the conflict in Palestine and Israel has gone for a long time since Hamas took control of Gaza in 2007. What is the background of the conflict, and how is your country working towards the peace between the two parties?
The root of this conflict actually lies in the existence of a people who are under occupation for decades. They are suffering all forms of displacement, oppression, and discrimination. So it's for my country, of course, we are calling for the immediate end for this conflict and the restoration of the inalienable rights of the Palestinians, which is stipulated in all the legal forms of international law. In addition, Egypt is calling for the start of a political process, a serious political process that would lead to the restoration of all the Palestinian rights, legal and legitimate rights, including the right of self-determination and the establishment of the an independent Palestinian state on the entirety of the Palestinian territories along the borders of June 4th, 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. This is, in our vision, is the only sustainable way of ending and resolving the conflict in the Middle East.
Your Excellency, let's talk about the relations between the two countries and Egypt and how this conflict is impacting the peace treaty between Egypt and Israel.
Historically, Egypt had played a pivotal role in achieving the peace and stability in the Middle East. My country has a comprehensive political vision, political view for the region, and also fixed historical positions towards the Palestinian issue, the Palestinian cause. In addition, a very long experience of how to deal and manage complex conflicts in the region that's erupting in the region. So I see that the Egyptian mediatory role is continues to succeed, and lately Egypt had brokered alongside with Qatar and the U.S. The agreement of ceasefire in Gaza and the exchange deal of hostages and detainees. This happened on the 15th of January 2025. This actually had been done through very intensive diplomatic efforts done by Egypt since the eruption of the conflict, as well as this ongoing series of ongoing consultations held by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, with all relevant world leaders, and it's for us. It's we had done lots of marathon negotiations with all the relevant parties, including the Palestinian factions and the Israeli government as well. Our main purpose is to reserve the rights of the Palestinians and to also maintain the peace and security in the region.
Your Excellency, how are the relationships between Egypt and Palestine and Israel? And just on the back of those relations, how is this affecting the peace treaty between Egypt and Israel?
Our relations, concerning our relations with Israel, Egypt, achieving peace and security in the Middle East is our top priority. Therefore, Egypt was the first Arab countries who signed peace treaty with Israel. And since then, Egypt and Israel maintained this peace treaty since 45 years.
45 years.
45 years. And speaking about the relations, our relations with the Palestinians, Egypt acknowledges the Palestinian state and has very close connections and coordination with the President Mahmoud Abbas, President of Palestine, and the Palestinian Authority and all factions of Palestine. It's for us, Egypt, our role during this current conflict, this circle of the current conflict, actually Egypt firmly rejects any plans that aims to the uprooting or displacement of the Palestinians from their own land. This either on a temporary or permanent basis under any circumstances or justifications. So it's the only way to that if there is any vision that's related to resolving the Palestinian cause, should avoid jeopardizing the gains of peace and security that we enjoy, that happened and been achieved through decades in the region.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And clearly, we can tell that the message is very clear how Egypt has a strong stance of peace and also maintaining stability and growth and great relations within the region. Focus 54 takes a short break. There's a lot we have heard that we need to justify, to actually to digest and understand, because there are many complexities that have been going that are surrounding these matters, with over 4 decades of things that need to be resolved. And clearly, the Egyptian government is on a path to make sure that there is peace within the region and there is peace between both parties that are affected. Focus 54 takes a short break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the second and final segment of Focus 54. A lot of the times when we speak about the news that is hitting the region, especially up north in Egypt, we never really get to hear the voices that are involved. And today we are privileged to have the ambassador of Egypt to Zimbabwe. And as we continue with our conversation, Your Excellency, the pressure has been mounting from all directions on Egypt with its mediatory role, particularly in the issue of the Rafah border, where Israel wants to take control of that for an undefined period. And how is your government navigating some of these pressures and managing the parties within this conflict?
Well, life is full of pressures, and for me, I don't see any pressures at all. I see that it's for the Egyptian mediatory role. It's widely appreciated and praised by the UN, by several world leaders, and it's very necessary for a country with such a very long history in diplomacy and experience with the complex issues, especially in our region and beyond. I think that it's for us. It's a very pivotal role that we play. For speaking concerning the Israeli withdrawal from the Palestinian side on Rafah border between Egypt and Gaza, this is actually covered by the ceasefire agreement. And Egypt is working tirelessly with the mediators and all interlocutors to make this ceasefire agreement work and continue and to be sustainable, and to avoid any obstacles or violations that could erupt of the process. This ceasefire agreement is a three-phased agreement, and we're looking forward that we move from the first phase to the second phase. And it's actually very important that also we are also coordinating with the Palestinian Authority. We are in direct contact with the Palestinian Authority and the international community to promote almost we finished a comprehensive plan vision for the reconstruction of Gaza. This plan is actually formulated in a manner to guarantee that the Palestinian people remain on their lands while doing the reconstruction, and also to align it would align with their legal and legitimate rights. So this is something that an effort that we're doing in this regard.
Your Excellency, you have spoken about Palestinians rebuilding their nation while they're there. But refugees, the issue of refugees, at some point in time, the Israeli spokesman from the army said that Egypt should take Palestinian refugees, and they were actually imposing that on you. What is the current position regarding Palestinian refugees and Egypt?
Well, the Palestinians are not refugees. They are the owners of their land. They are living on their land. And the only solution, like it's the solution for this is not to take the Palestinians away from their own land. The only solution, the only feasible one that is there is to make an end for the Israeli occupation for the Palestinian territories and to implement the two-state solution. This is the only way for resolving this situation, not to make the Palestinians as refugees. Mm-hmm. So it's they have their own land, and thinking about the displacing the Palestinians to neighboring countries, it's something that it's actually will, in our point of view, will not contribute to solve the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It will not contribute in that. On the contrary, it will contribute in extending the conflict to the recipient countries in the region. And this, by any means, will jeopardize, this is our vision, it would jeopardize the peace and stability and the gains of peace and the foundations of peace in the region.
We understand, Your Excellency, that Egypt is not alone in advocating for peace and a two-state solution. You and several other Arab countries have indicated to Israel, the United States and European nations that their active engagement in post-war efforts is predicted on just rhetoric and not credible. There's no credible linkage to a clear diplomatic engagement. Is this two-state solution that you have spoken about achievable in your view, and how best will that help both nations?
Definitely. This is, in our point of view, and in my personal point of view, this is the only way to solve the long-standing conflict, the Palestinian cause, the long-standing conflict between Palestine and Israel, and the key for the stability and security in the region. To start a serious process that lead to the establishment of the Palestinian state on the borders of June 4th, 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. This is the only sustainable way to resolve this conflict and just forget about it. Mm. And you know, hope is very important. Create hope for the Palestinians. Hope is very important. So it's for them to see their own land in front of their eyes after such decades of discrimination, oppression, and displacement. This is something that would change the face of the region. Mm-hmm. So this is, in my personal view, and of course my government view, is very essential.
Ambassador, we're very privileged to have you giving us, direct information of what's going on the ground. But in Africa, we have several conflicts that are going on, in the eastern region, in the northern region, and many other places. Lastly, Ambassador, before we let you go, what is your parting message of peace to all that are in conflict within Gaza, people that are in conflict within the DRC, in other parts of Africa?
Speaking about the conflict in Gaza, I see that peace is the only option for humanity. As a ambassador for my country and a career diplomat, our only means is diplomacy. That we sit together, try to solve the problems, and we are capable of that in the 21st century. We can do that. We can overcome all the obstacles with a will to do that. And I have no doubt, I'm very confident that my country, Egypt, is capable with its very long experience and very seasoned diplomacy that we can change, we can promote for peace, achieve peace, and maintain it. It can happen, it's doable. Of course, with all the friends of peace, the countries of peace in the world, and the international community.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. You've opened up your doors, and we'd like to promise our viewers, in your words, that we will be getting to know a lot more of some of the diplomatic missions that you are doing, especially in Zimbabwe and surrounding countries. Thank you so much for clarifying that the message of peace is something that Egypt has been speaking about, is speaking about, and will continue to speak about. This has been Focus 54. My name is Jeffrey Muribeche. I do implore onto you to go onto our YouTube page and our Facebook page and catch repeats of this episode so that you get information accurately direct from the source.